Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a podcast on empaths and protecting yourself. So this is a subject that has come up quite often. A lot of people that would be tuning into this are probably empathic at some level, and then there's some people who just don't even know if they're an empath, but they are going through a vast array of emotions. So let me start off by saying and explaining what is an empath. So basically, an empath is a highly sensitive person, also called HSP. And what that means is that you're someone who five senses, the touch, taste, smell, those five senses are all heightened more so than an average individual who may not be very in tune with their abilities. People who are empathic are very sensitive to other people's energies and energies that are in the atmosphere, whether this is residual energy in a location or any area that you're in. So it's also you having a sensitivity to your environment, where you're at, places that you visit, to animals, pets, to humans, and to all creatures. So it's not really just a sensitivity to a human's energy, it's to everything, even to spirit. And a lot of people who have empathic abilities are people who also have psychic abilities. And psychic abilities, again, goes back to your intuition. When you're an empath, you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. A lot of times it can be crippling. It can lead to anxiety, panic attacks. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that if they're having anxiety attacks and they're having panic attacks and they have ruled out anything physical or medical that would be causing this, and there's not an explanation, more than likely you're an empath. I know for myself, being a psychic medium, I am an empath, and that's one of my strongest, abilities. And it's very difficult, if I'm not balanced myself and I'm not, protected, and I don't go through the routines which I'll be outlining in this video. It can be to the point where, I start feeling, very erratic energy, and it can cause different side effects for people, and everybody handles it differently. For myself, if I'm overwhelmed with a lot of energy and I just feel like there's negative vibes and I'm picking up on it, what I will do is I will retract from everyone, whether means like going away, shielding up, and staying in my own bubble, my own space, and I don't communicate with anyone. I'll still do my work and whatnot, but as far as like verbalizing, I really won't talk. I'll just be very quiet. And for a Gemini, because I'm a Gemini myself, that's when you know something is wrong, because we're never quiet. We're usually never quiet. We love to talk, and that's true for a lot of people out there. And what I'm finding is that a lot of my clients have children who are empathic, and they have these empath abilities. And so a lot of these parents out there are struggling to understand, why are these children reacting the way that they are. And it's kind of difficult. They'll take them to a psychologist, and they'll see if they are bipolar or they have any kind of mental disorder, or any kind of disorder, and it's nothing. A lot of them have said that they don't have, they haven't been tested, or they've been tested, but then nothing came out as positive, so they don't know exactly what it is that's going on. And so a lot of empaths will start reacting different ways. I just mentioned panic attacks, but a lot of empaths will also may tear up, be very sensitive to social media. Anything that's negative can affect their moods. They can start taking on those moods themselves, starting being very negative, or argumentative. If you're around, if you're an empath and you're around that same person, think of yourself as an empath as a sponge. You are a sponge, and when you you're the sponge, and the water is all the people around you, their emotions. And when you submerge that sponge into the water, it's going to absorb all of that, right? Okay, so that's the same way as, you know, an empath. If you put an empath in a crowd of people, around a crowd of people, and there's just so many people around you, everyone is vibrating at a different level and everyone has different emotions. And so you can be picking up on all of those and taking all those emotions into yourself if you're not shielding and protecting yourself, and it can be detrimental to your health. It can affect you and have physical effects, and it can also affect you at the spiritual level. Most empaths, you know, have a combination of both, you know, effects, physical and spiritual. So, you know, panic attacks are one way that, you know, that empaths may, you know, react. They may tear up if they're looking at something that's very emotional, like a sad movie or somebody processing death of a human. You know, they would react very emotional and may tear up. If they're around someone who is negative, they may start taking on those feelings. If there was someone that had a toothache, they could even feel the toothache in themselves. If this is a living person, this is kind of like, you know, it's almost like if you're around your coworker and your coworker is very silent, but you know that they're not usually silent, but you know that something, just by looking at their face or being around them, that something is wrong. They could have gone through a breakup recently. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You'll just know. And I think a lot of people just don't really know why they know this, and they don't know how to control it. So, you know, the first thing is, if you're an empath, you know, you're going to always have this ability. It's not something that's going to go away. There's no off button, really, you know, to turn it off. It's a part of you, and it will always be a part of you. The main key here to, you know, establish healthy boundaries. This is with anyone, you know your limitations. What is going to, being an empath is very important, because you know that you have this awesome ability that you can sense and feel things from other people. But at the same time, you need to set up healthy boundaries for yourself and for people around you. So if there's, you know, someone that's constantly coming and dumping all their problems on you, and you know it's getting to the point where you're getting overwhelmed, if you just don't say anything and you don't communicate, how is that person going to know? Unless they're, you know, psychic, or they have some kind of intuition and they're picking up on your vibe telepathically, they won't know. So it's very essential for a lot of you empaths out there to set healthy boundaries. I think a lot of people have problems saying no. That's another, you know, trait that a lot of empaths have, where they don't know how to say no. They don't want to, you know, come off as the bad guy or be negative, or they're fearful, you know, that if they say no, that something bad is going to happen. But sometimes saying no is a good thing, and that's a healthy boundary for yourself. So you need to set up healthy boundaries. That's the first thing. Knowing your limitations, what you're willing to accept in your life, and knowing that other people around you, they need to respect that space for you. You know, but you also need to have communication, which is something that I learned myself, you know, and I'm still learning. You know, we all need to have communication. So, you know, you just don't want to go away or disappear, and then people that you care about, that care about you and that you care about, would be, you know, thinking something's wrong with you, or worry, you know, why you're in a space, you know, in your own little bubble. So it's important for an empath to have communication, healthy communication with their friends, their family, their partners, but it also, like I said, establishing healthy boundaries, because a lot of people don't know your limitations unless you tell them, you know, or you express it. They'll just keep, you know, doing little things that can set you into this whole whirlwind of emotions, you know, and sadness, depression, you know, feeling sick, physically sick, palpitations, you know, and nightmares, you know, and just the list goes on and on. It can be anything physical. The second thing that you would need to do also is to properly channel your energy. Empaths take so much energy from, you know, the environment, and absorb it, like I said, into their system. And so we all have, you know, energy points or meridians in the body, and this is called chakras. So if your chakras are not, you know, aligned, your crown, your your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus, and going all the way down. If those energy points are not aligned and it's all, or one of them is blocked because you're not expressing yourself as an empath and you're not being, setting those boundaries, then those chakras are going to be all, like I said, unbalanced, and you're going to feel that. So meditation is key to balancing your chakras, and also helping kind of, dim your empathic light that a lot of people would be drawn to. Just like a medium, and the mediums have spirits that are drawn to them. Well, empaths also have a specific aura around them that draws people to them like magnets. People that are usually needing healing, people that are damaged, people that are negative. And so you need to really practice meditation. And it's not going to be something that is, done on the first time you're going to be the master at meditation. It's going to take time, and over time you're going to be able to develop that and really get, to doing the meditation. For those of you that are listening to this, there's different meditation types that you can do. There's open meditation, guided meditation, there's open eye meditation, shower meditation. There's different types of different meditations that you can do. Kundalini. So a lot of you will just need to go out there and to YouTube and kind of, experiment with meditations and see which one would work for you. Because that is going to help you kind of clear your energy, stay more balanced, and also kind of protect your aura in a way where a lot of these energies that you don't want around you will not, be coming to you. So that's very important for your mental, spiritual, and physical well-being. The third thing that you should do if you are an empath to protect yourself is to use a lot of protective crystals. So I know that I've discussed this in other videos as well, but I never get tired of talking about crystals. So some of my favorite crystals are amethyst. That's a protection stone basically, and it enhances awareness and attracts positive energy while repelling the negative energy. Blue topaz is also one of my favorites. It helps you to think clearly and communicate your desires to the universe. Other ones are jade. You can use jade. It's a stone for lovers, and it should be used for empaths too. And then lapis lazuli. Lapis is one of my favorite stones. Basically, this helps you influence your spiritual growth. It also helps with your intuition, boost your psychic abilities, and any empathic abilities. It would kind of like smooth them and iron them out, so that way they become more polished, and you will be able to really kind of hone into what is really going on and not feel so erratic. Turquoise has always been used as a Native American stone crystal. It's all through Native Americans. It's been one of the most popular crystals out there in stones. So this is actually an anti-negativity stone, but it also has a lot of healing properties for your body. So if you are an empath that is going through like panic attacks, going through anxiety, etc., this is going to be a good stone for you. There's another stone that's not well known. It's called unakite. And basically what it does is that it helps balance your emotions and brings your spirit closer to, to the whole, balance thing that I've been talking about. Other ones are hematite, and that is good for grounding. And then, it doesn't hurt to have some obsidian, onyx, or black tourmaline, and also some selenite. There's just limitless, and you can, like I said, experiment with different one of these stones, every day. And tiger's eye is also very good as well because it's a worry stone. So a lot of empaths tend to worry a lot about things, and worry leads to like insecurities coming forward and things, that overanalyze in situations. So tiger's eye is a very good protective crystal as well. So in addition to these crystals, it's also important to kind of get your blood circulating. Your body is your temple, so exercise, yoga, tai chi, taekwondo, getting some kind of movement, even going out for a walk. You can go and hug a tree. When you do that, you're connecting to nature. You're connecting to the earth, Mother Earth, because trees have roots that go in. So if you've ever seen that, that saying, as above, so below, well, that's what it basically is. It's a balance between this world and the other world, and really energies that circulate. You know, Also, drinking teas that can relax you, chamomile, chai tea is very good also to kind of, enhance certain abilities. Matcha, there's just so much different, things that you can do. And there's not one specific course of plan or action. You have to kind of tailor, and find what is going to really work for you and tailor that to your needs specifically. Because like I said, everyone is different. And what I'm presenting in today's video is, in today's podcast is just things that I've used that have worked for me and that may work for you. What works for me may not work for you. So you just have to kind of, know these things and really kind of experiment until you get that right antidote, so to speak, for your empathic abilities, and really shielding yourself, protecting yourself from all of this, the energy that's out in the world right now. Because the way that the world is, and we are shifting between 3D state of consciousness into a 5D state of consciousness. It affects even the strongest person. You can be the strongest, psychic medium, the strongest shaman, the healer, the strongest empath out there, and you have it all together. But at any given moment, we are all human. We're not indestructible, and we're not, immune to all of this. So you're at one specific time in your life, you're going to, have moments or days, every week that this is going to happen, even with doing everything that I've mentioned. There's really no, like I said, 100% safe proof method, but the things that I outline here, really can, give you almost like 70-80% type of assistance as tools to utilize to protect yourself. And that's where I'm coming from a very realistic standpoint in this podcast. So that way, that there are things that you can do that can help you. Will it be 100% proof? No. But, nothing in this world is 100%, always going to work. It could work for a short time. It's just like taking a medicine. You take any kind of medicine over some time, and you're going to build an immunity to it, and it's no longer going to have the same effect on you. So it's just the same thing with your empathic abilities. We will grow. Your empath abilities will grow. They'll expand. There will be different facets of your empathic abilities that you'll be able to tap into, and at the same time, a lot of you out there will be noticing that you're going through these changes, and it's affecting maybe your emotions at a certain time until you get to a certain level of attunement or really balancing, and retracting. Sometimes we just need some space. Like I said, you need to really go deep in, do a soul searching within yourself to really find out what is triggering this reaction out of you. And then when you come out of it, resilient, and you just, have this strong, sense of self going forward. So I hope that this video, the main message here is really learning about yourself. What are your triggers and how to protect yourself, and you found it very helpful. If you did like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you would like to set up a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And don't forget, my book is now out for pre-order. It's called Starseed Footsteps, and it's available worldwide on September the 18th. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day.